Imagine waking up tomorrow with a mind so clear, so focused, and so unstoppable that no challenge can shake your confidence. Picture starting every morning feeling energized, optimistic, and fully in control of your day. That is not a dream. It is entirely possible if you master your mindset. The first few minutes after waking up are the most powerful moments of your day. They set the tone for everything you think, feel, and do. The question is, are you going to let your thoughts control you, or are you going to take the driver's seat of your mind? Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, yet most people treat it as if it were a passive instrument, reacting to whatever comes its way. The first few moments after waking up are not just ordinary minutes. They are the foundation upon which your entire day is built. Every thought you entertain in those early moments has a ripple effect, influencing your mood, your decisions, and ultimately the quality of your life. It is in these quiet, seemingly insignificant moments that the seeds of your success or failure are planted. Imagine waking up, reaching for your phone, and immediately scrolling through stressful news, endless notifications, or comparison-inducing social media feeds. In doing so, you feed your mind chaos before it has a chance to settle into clarity. Contrast this with someone who, upon waking, takes a deep breath, reflects on the life they are grateful for, and intentionally plants a thought of positivity in their mind. That single choice sets a completely different trajectory for the day. The power of your morning thoughts lies in the fact that the mind is malleable, especially in the early hours. Neuroscience has shown that our brains are particularly receptive to suggestions and patterns at the start of the day, meaning the beliefs and thoughts you choose in those moments can shape the way you respond to challenges and opportunities for hours to come. Consider the mind as a blank canvas. When you wake up, each thought is like a stroke of paint, vivid, powerful, and capable of creating a masterpiece or a mess. A single negative thought, such as "I'm not ready for today," may seem harmless, but repeated patterns of negativity accumulate like cracks in a foundation, weakening confidence and productivity. Conversely, nurturing thoughts of empowerment and hope strengthens the mental structure that supports your goals, relationships, and overall well-being. The fascinating part is that this process is entirely within your control. You are not a passive observer of your mind. You are its gardener, its sculptor, and its commander. You can choose which thoughts to cultivate and which to dismiss. Begin by noticing the first thought that enters your mind when you wake up. Often, it is reactive, a reflection of yesterday's stress or tomorrow's uncertainty. By consciously redirecting your focus toward thoughts of gratitude, possibility, and strength, you are effectively rewiring your mental pathways. For instance, instead of thinking, "I have too much to do today," transform it into, "I have the energy and ability to handle what comes my way." Small shifts like this may feel insignificant at first, but repeated consistently, they create a mindset that is resilient, adaptable, and positive. Examples of the power of morning thoughts abound. Think about an individual who begins each day with self-doubt. Even before they leave their home, their mind is already framing challenges as insurmountable, conversations as potential conflict, and tasks as burdens rather than opportunities. Their energy is depleted, their decisions are cautious, and their day is clouded by tension. Now compare this with someone who begins the day with clarity and intention, reminding themselves of their strengths and purpose. They approach the same challenges with calm, creativity, and determination. The external circumstances may be identical, but the internal response is drastically different. This demonstrates an essential truth. It is not life that shapes your day, it is the state of your mind at the moment you greet the morning. To master your morning thoughts, you need a strategy. One practical approach is to start with a simple affirmation. This is not about repeating empty words. It is about consciously planting a seed of belief in your subconscious. For example, you might say, "Today I will focus on solutions, embrace challenges, and act with confidence." Repeat it slowly, letting each word resonate. Visualization strengthens this process. Picture your day unfolding as you wish. See yourself meeting difficulties with composure, accomplishing tasks with focus, and interacting with others with positivity. By doing this, you are not escaping reality. You are preparing your mind to meet reality with your highest potential. Another critical element is awareness. Observe how your thoughts influence your emotions, decisions, and actions throughout the morning. If you notice negativity creeping in, pause, breathe, and consciously replace it with a constructive thought. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," shift to, "I am capable of learning, adapting, and succeeding." This deliberate practice builds mental resilience. Over time, your mind will naturally default to positive and empowering thoughts, even in stressful situations, because the foundation you lay in the morning becomes your automatic response mechanism. In essence, your morning thoughts are the compass that guides your day. Ignoring them is like setting sail without a map. You may move, but without direction, your progress is uncertain. By taking charge of these first minutes, you create momentum, clarity, and energy that flow into every decision, conversation, and action. The process is simple in concept but profound in effect. Choose your thoughts with intention, cultivate positivity with consistency, and watch as your day transforms from ordinary to extraordinary. This is the secret that separates those who drift through life from those who actively shape it. By mastering your morning mindset, you take the first decisive step toward mastery of your life. Rituals are far more than simple routines. They are the deliberate acts that shape the mind, prime the body, and set the tone for the day. The moment you wake up, the actions you take communicate a powerful message to your subconscious. Either I am in control or I am at the mercy of circumstance. Without intention, mornings can easily slip into chaos, filled with distractions, stress, and reactive behavior. But when you create a morning ritual, you are intentionally sending a signal that your day, your energy, and your mindset matter. This is not about perfection or rigidity. It is about creating a structure that consistently reinforces positivity, focus, and clarity. The most successful and resilient people do not leave the start of their day to chance. They cultivate it carefully, knowing that their actions in the first hour set the trajectory for everything that follows. The beauty of a morning ritual lies in its ability to influence your state of mind before external factors demand attention. Picture this. Two people wake up at the same time. One reaches immediately for their phone, scrolling through messages, emails, and social media. By the time they are fully awake, their mind is already entangled in stress, distraction, and reactive emotions. The other person spends 10 minutes stretching, breathing deeply, and visualizing their day. They may write down their intentions or silently affirm their goals. When they step into the world, they are centered, calm, and focused. Though both individuals face the same challenges and opportunities, their responses are completely different because one started with intention and the other with distraction. The ripple effect of this early choice impacts energy, productivity, and emotional resilience for the entire day. Designing a morning ritual begins with understanding that the mind and body are interconnected. A few minutes of physical movement, stretching, yoga, or light exercise activates the body, increases circulation, and releases chemicals that boost mood and alertness. Deep breathing or meditation calms the nervous system, reducing the impact of stress before it takes hold. Journaling or listing intentions allows the mind to clarify priorities, focus on what truly matters, and release lingering worries. Visualization prepares the brain for success by allowing it to rehearse positive outcomes and effective responses to challenges. Each of these components, while simple, sends a message to your subconscious that you are deliberately creating the conditions for a successful, fulfilling day. Consistency is the key to transforming a morning ritual from a habit into a superpower. Even when the routine is brief, 10 or 15 minutes, it signals to the mind that you are taking ownership of your day. The cumulative effect of repeating these actions over weeks and months is profound. Just as an athlete trains consistently to improve strength and skill, the mind strengthens through repeated intentional practices. When mornings become a sacred space for mental and emotional alignment, you are no longer reacting to the world. You are engaging it from a position of calm, confidence, and clarity. It is also essential to recognize the emotional benefits of a morning ritual. When the day begins with deliberate, positive actions, stress and anxiety lose much of their grip. The mind begins in a state of empowerment rather than fear or fatigue, and this translates into better decision-making, increased resilience, and a greater sense of purpose. Imagine a day where every unexpected challenge is met with composure, where each task is approached with focus, and where interactions with others are grounded in patience and positivity. That is the direct result of cultivating a morning ritual that primes the mind and body. Rituals also anchor the mind in gratitude and intention. Taking a few moments to reflect on what you are grateful for, or setting clear intentions for how you want to show up in the world, provides a psychological edge. It shifts your focus away from scarcity, complaint, or fear, and toward abundance, possibility, and action. This mental shift is critical because the quality of your thoughts in the first hour influences the choices, energy, and mindset you carry throughout the day. Without this foundation, it is easy to drift into negativity, distraction, or reactive behavior, reacting to life rather than actively shaping it. Finally, a morning ritual is not about rigid adherence to a fixed set of steps. It is about creating a flexible framework that prioritizes clarity, focus, and positivity. It can be adjusted to suit your life, but the principle remains the same. Intentionally direct your energy toward thoughts and actions that serve your highest potential. Over time, this practice becomes automatic. The mind naturally seeks alignment, calm, and purpose in the early hours by investing just a small portion of your morning in rituals that nurture the mind and body. You set in motion a momentum that carries through every interaction, decision, and action for the rest of the day. In essence, the power of a morning ritual lies in its ability to transform you from a passive participant into an active creator of your reality. It takes the chaos of waking life and turns it into a structured opportunity for empowerment. By consciously shaping the first moments of your day, you are shaping the quality of your life, one intentional action at a time. This is the hidden key that separates those who drift through their days from those who consistently achieve, inspire, and thrive. Every morning is an opportunity to start anew, and your rituals are the vehicle that ensures you do so with clarity, energy, and purpose. Most people underestimate the influence of their inner dialogue on every aspect of their lives. From the moment we wake up, our thoughts begin to narrate a story about who we are, what we can achieve, and how the day will unfold. Too often, that story is critical, self-doubting, or fear-driven. It is subtle, almost invisible, yet its impact is immense. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, and each thought is a stone you toss into the water. Some stones create ripples that empower and energize, while others create waves that disturb, distract, and diminish your focus. The quality of your inner dialogue determines whether the ripples of your day are positive or whether the waves of doubt and negativity carry you off course. Your mind naturally reacts to patterns it has learned over time. If you have a habit of speaking negatively to yourself, "I can't do this, I'm not good enough, this is too hard," then these statements become the default lens through which you perceive the world. They shape your confidence, your resilience, and even your physical energy. The body responds to the mind, and negative self-talk triggers stress hormones, tension, and fatigue, making challenges feel heavier and solutions harder to see. On the other hand, if you consciously replace negative thoughts with constructive, empowering statements, your mind begins to reshape itself. This is not wishful thinking, it is a deliberate rewiring of neural pathways, creating patterns of thought that naturally lead to confidence, focus, and calm. The process begins with awareness. The first step is to notice your thoughts without judgment. Observe the words you tell yourself upon waking, during challenging tasks, or in stressful interactions. Many people do not realize how harsh or limiting their self-talk has become because it has been ingrained over years. By simply becoming aware, you gain the power to intervene. Awareness is the spark that ignites transformation. Once you recognize a limiting thought, you can pause and consciously choose a more empowering alternative. Reprogramming your inner dialogue requires deliberate, consistent effort. Begin with small, intentional statements that reflect your strengths, goals, and aspirations. For instance, replace "I can't handle this" with "I am capable of managing challenges with focus and calm." Change "this is too difficult" to "every step I take brings me closer to success." These statements may feel unnatural at first, but repetition gradually shifts the subconscious narrative. Over time, the mind begins to accept these empowering statements as truth, creating a sense of internal alignment that translates into action. Visualization is a powerful companion to verbal affirmations. As you speak positive statements to yourself, imagine scenarios in which you successfully apply these thoughts. See yourself navigating a difficult conversation with confidence, completing a challenging project with skill, or responding to setbacks with composure. By rehearsing these experiences mentally, you train your brain to recognize and act in ways consistent with these positive patterns. The mind does not distinguish vividly imagined experiences from real ones, and this mental practice builds the confidence, resilience, and focus needed to handle real-life situations effectively. Another critical element is the tone and emotion behind your inner dialogue. Thoughts alone carry power, but when they are infused with belief and feeling, they become even more transformative. Instead of mechanically repeating affirmations, engage your emotions. Feel the energy of confidence, the calm of clarity, and the excitement of potential. When your thoughts are aligned with positive emotion, they are more deeply embedded in your subconscious and produce tangible shifts in attitude and behavior. Examples of this practice are evident in everyday life. Consider an individual facing a daunting task. One person begins with doubt and internal criticism. Seeing obstacles at every turn, their mind generates fear, procrastination, and frustration, which then affect their actions, leading to poor results or inaction. Another person approaches the same task with a mindset cultivated through intentional inner dialogue. They remind themselves of past successes, acknowledge their ability to learn, and focus on actionable steps. Their thoughts generate calm determination, energy, and problem-solving ability, producing better outcomes. The external circumstances are identical, but the internal narrative changes everything. Reprogramming your inner dialogue also strengthens your emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. When your mind is trained to default to empowering thoughts, challenges become opportunities rather than threats. You respond with composure instead of panic, with creativity instead of frustration, and with persistence instead of defeat. Your inner voice becomes a mentor, a coach, and a source of unwavering support, rather than a critic that undermines every effort. Finally, the long-term impact of cultivating a positive inner dialogue cannot be overstated. It transforms not only your day-to-day actions, but also your identity. You begin to see yourself as capable, resourceful, and worthy of success. This shift affects relationships, work performance, and overall happiness. Every thought becomes a building block, constructing a mindset that consistently attracts opportunity, fosters resilience, and reinforces positivity. By mastering your inner dialogue, you turn your mind from a battlefield of doubt into a sanctuary of strength, clarity, and possibility. Every day presents us with circumstances beyond our control, unexpected challenges, difficult people, sudden changes, and moments of uncertainty. Most of life's stress comes not from the events themselves, but from how we respond to them. When we obsess over what we cannot control, we drain our energy, cloud our thinking, and invite frustration into our lives. But mastering your mindset requires a shift, to focus not on what is outside your control, but on what is within it. This is not a philosophy of passivity or avoidance. It is a strategy for empowerment. By concentrating on your actions, attitudes, and choices, you reclaim control of your life, even in situations that seem overwhelming. Consider the analogy of sailing a boat. You cannot control the wind, the waves, or the direction of the currents. Yet by adjusting your sails and steering with skill, you can navigate through storms and reach your destination. Life works the same way. You cannot dictate every event, interaction, or outcome, but you can determine how you respond. Your attitude, your decisions, and the effort you invest are entirely within your control. By focusing on these elements, you transform yourself from a reactive passenger into a capable navigator, steering through challenges with clarity and confidence. The key is to create mental boundaries between what you can influence and what you cannot. Many people expend unnecessary energy on circumstances that are beyond their reach, allowing worry, fear, or anger to dominate their thoughts. For example, you may fret over someone else's behavior, the actions of your colleagues, or unpredictable market conditions. These are external forces, and obsessing over them achieves nothing but stress. Instead, direct your attention inward. How can I act in a way that is consistent with my values? What steps can I take to adapt or improve the situation? By shifting your focus to your own responses, you preserve energy, maintain clarity, and increase effectiveness. Focusing on what you can control also cultivates resilience. Life will always present obstacles, but resilience is built through the conscious choice to respond with strength rather than surrender. Imagine encountering a problem at work, an unexpected delay, or a personal conflict. A person fixated on external frustrations may feel overwhelmed, powerless, or angry. In contrast, someone who focuses on their own actions approaches the problem systematically, analyzing the situation, identifying possible solutions, and taking deliberate steps to move forward. This approach does not eliminate challenges, but it transforms them into opportunities for growth, skill development, and confidence. Another aspect of this mindset is emotional regulation. By concentrating on what is within your control, you reduce the influence of external events on your emotional state. You choose calm over panic, patience over frustration, and clarity over confusion. This mental discipline allows you to navigate stressful situations with composure, make better decisions, and maintain relationships without unnecessary conflict. The power of this practice is cumulative. Every time you respond intentionally rather than react impulsively, you reinforce a mental habit that grows stronger over time. Focusing on controllable elements also enhances productivity. When you direct energy toward actions rather than complaints or worries, you accomplish more with less stress. For instance, rather than lamenting a traffic jam, you can use the time to listen to an educational podcast or practice mindful breathing. Instead of dwelling on a difficult colleague, you can focus on improving your own communication or finding productive solutions. By directing attention to areas where your effort makes a difference, every moment becomes a tool for progress rather than a source of anxiety. Practical application of this principle can begin with a simple daily exercise. Each morning, identify the key areas of your life where your actions matter most: your health, your work, your relationships, your mindset. Then consciously decide to invest energy only in what you can influence. If negative or distracting thoughts about uncontrollable events arise, acknowledge them, then release them, refocusing on actionable steps. Over time, this disciplined approach rewires the mind to default to control and responsibility, rather than stress and victimhood. It is also important to recognize that focusing on what you can control does not mean ignoring the broader picture or avoiding responsibility. Rather, it is a strategy for maximizing effectiveness and mental clarity. By anchoring your energy in your sphere of influence, you reduce wasted effort, maintain emotional equilibrium, and increase your capacity to impact outcomes in meaningful ways. Every action you take, when grounded in control, has the potential to ripple outward, influencing not only your own day but the people and environment around you. In essence, mastery over your mindset begins with the conscious choice to focus on controllable elements. Life will always contain uncertainty and challenge, but your responses can be deliberate, thoughtful, and empowering. By consistently directing your attention and energy toward your actions, attitudes, and decisions, you reclaim authority over your mental state, protect your energy, and cultivate resilience. This is not a theoretical exercise. It is a practical, actionable strategy that separates those who drift helplessly in life from those who navigate it with skill, confidence, and grace. By mastering this principle, each morning becomes not just the start of another day, but an opportunity to engage life on your terms with clarity, focus, and unshakable positivity. Gratitude is one of the most overlooked yet powerful tools for cultivating a positive mindset. It has the ability to shift your perception of life from scarcity to abundance, from frustration to appreciation, and from stress to calm focus. The practice of gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that difficulties do not exist. Instead, it is about training your mind to notice what is working, what is present, and what is valuable in the midst of life's complexity. By starting your morning with gratitude, you prime your mind to respond to the day with optimism, resilience, and a sense of purpose. The simplest acts of gratitude are often the most transformative. You do not need grand achievements or extraordinary circumstances to engage this practice. Before you even get out of bed, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. It could be the warmth of the sunlight streaming through your window, the comfort of your home, the health of your body, or the presence of someone who brings joy to your life. These small, deliberate acknowledgements create a mental pattern that emphasizes abundance rather than lack, possibility rather than limitation. In doing so, gratitude becomes a lens through which you view your experiences, coloring every moment with awareness and appreciation. The psychological effects of gratitude are profound. Studies have shown that focusing on what you are grateful for increases dopamine and serotonin levels, the chemicals responsible for happiness and well-being. Gratitude reduces stress hormones, enhances mental clarity, and improves emotional resilience. When you approach the morning with a sense of thankfulness, your mind is more capable of handling challenges without becoming overwhelmed. You are less reactive to stress, more present in interactions, and more capable of maintaining focus on your priorities. In essence, gratitude acts as a stabilizing force, anchoring you in positivity before external events have the chance to dictate your emotional state. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is its ability to reframe challenges. Life inevitably presents obstacles, setbacks, and frustrations. A person who begins the day focused on what is missing or unfair may feel powerless or discouraged when difficulties arise, but someone who cultivates gratitude views obstacles through a different lens. They recognize that even in adversity, there are opportunities to learn, grow, and appreciate what remains intact. For instance, a stressful work project can be reframed as a chance to develop new skills or demonstrate perseverance, a challenging conversation can be an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and understanding. Gratitude does not remove the challenge. It changes the emotional response, allowing you to act with clarity, confidence, and resilience. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. When you acknowledge and appreciate the people in your life, even in subtle ways, you create deeper connections, mutual respect, and positivity. Expressing gratitude for support, kindness, or shared moments transforms interactions and builds a more harmonious environment around you. When practiced in the morning, this mindset carries throughout the day, influencing how you communicate, collaborate, and respond to others. It creates a feedback loop where positivity breeds more positivity, reinforcing the benefits of the practice in both your inner world and external circumstances. Another essential component of gratitude is consistency. The mind, like a muscle, responds to regular training. A single morning of gratitude can be uplifting, but the true power emerges when it becomes a daily habit. By starting each day with intentional reflection on what is valuable and meaningful, you condition your mind to automatically recognize blessings, opportunities, and progress. Over time, this habitual focus shifts your default perspective from complaint to appreciation, from worry to hope, and from distraction to presence. Practical application of gratitude can take many forms. Some people journal, listing what they are thankful for each morning, while others take a few quiet moments to silently acknowledge the positives in their life. You can combine gratitude with visualization, imagining the people, opportunities, and experiences you are grateful for flourishing throughout your day. You can also verbalize your appreciation, speaking affirmations that reinforce the sense of abundance and possibility. Whatever method you choose, the key is intentionality. Gratitude must be practiced deliberately to create meaningful change in your mindset. Ultimately, gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a skill, a habit, and a perspective that empowers you to start each morning with strength, optimism, and focus. By prioritizing gratitude, you shift the foundation of your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to possibility, and from reactivity to intentionality. Each morning becomes not just the beginning of another day, but a conscious opportunity to align your mind with positivity, resilience, and purpose. It is the bridge that connects thought to action, emotion to behavior, and intention to results. When practiced consistently, gratitude transforms ordinary mornings into powerful catalysts for growth, happiness, and achievement, shaping not just your day, but the trajectory of your life. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools for shaping your mindset and creating a reality aligned with your goals. While many people think success is solely determined by effort or external circumstances, the truth is that the mind plays the leading role. The thoughts and images you hold in your mind before your day begins influence how you respond to challenges, opportunities, and interactions. Visualization is the process of intentionally creating clear, vivid mental pictures of the outcomes you desire, and when practiced consistently, it trains your brain to recognize possibilities, solutions, and pathways to achievement that might otherwise go unnoticed. Imagine starting your morning by closing your eyes and seeing your ideal day unfold before you. You picture yourself moving through each task with focus and ease, handling challenges with calm and confidence, and engaging with others in a positive, productive manner. This is not mere daydreaming, it is mental rehearsal. The brain does not always distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and reality. By practicing visualization, you prime your mind to recognize opportunities, respond effectively under pressure, and take actions that align with your desired outcomes. The simple act of mentally rehearsing success increases your likelihood of achieving it because your mind has already experienced it and prepared for it. Visualization also serves as a bridge between intention and action. Many people wake up with goals, but lack clarity on how to achieve them. By visualizing specific outcomes, you create a roadmap in your mind that guides your decisions, focus, and energy. For instance, if you have an important presentation, visualizing yourself speaking confidently, articulating ideas clearly, and receiving positive responses primes your mind to perform in that way when the moment arrives. The mental preparation reduces anxiety, sharpens focus, and enhances performance because your brain has already processed the experience. The emotional component of visualization is equally important. It is not enough to simply imagine events in a detached, intellectual way. You must engage emotion. Feel the pride of completing a challenging task, the satisfaction of overcoming obstacles, and the joy of connecting with others meaningfully. When visualization is paired with emotion, it activates neural pathways that mimic real experiences, strengthening your ability to act with confidence and resilience in actual situations. Emotion infuses the images in your mind with energy, making the practice more effective and deeply ingrained. Consistency is the key to mastering visualization. Like any skill, it improves with practice. Incorporating a few minutes of focused visualization into your morning routine establishes a mental pattern that carries throughout the day. The repetition trains your mind to anticipate success, respond with calm determination, and remain solution-focused, even in challenging circumstances. Over time, visualization transforms from a deliberate exercise into an automatic mental habit, helping you approach every situation with clarity and purpose. Visualization also cultivates problem-solving skills. By imagining potential obstacles and rehearsing responses in your mind, you prepare yourself to handle real-life challenges more effectively. This proactive mental practice reduces panic and impulsive reactions, allowing you to approach difficulties with strategy, creativity, and confidence. For example, visualizing a difficult conversation with a colleague can help you choose words carefully, maintain composure, and guide the discussion toward a productive outcome. In this way, visualization functions as a rehearsal space where you refine not only goals but also the means to achieve them. Another profound benefit of visualization is its ability to align your mindset with long-term goals. When you consistently picture the life you want, your thoughts, habits, and decisions gradually begin to reflect that vision. You become more attuned to opportunities, more motivated to take consistent action, and more resilient in the face of setbacks. Visualization is a tool for mental alignment. It helps ensure that your daily behavior, often dictated by habit and automatic thinking, is guided by conscious intention and purpose. Practical application of visualization can be simple yet highly effective. Begin each morning with a quiet moment, close your eyes, and create a vivid mental movie of your day or the outcomes you wish to achieve. Engage all your senses. See, hear, feel, and even smell the experiences you imagine. Picture yourself accomplishing tasks efficiently, handling challenges gracefully, and interacting positively with others. Allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with success and satisfaction. Repeat this practice consistently, and over time, your mind begins to guide your actions in alignment with your visualization, producing results that may once have seemed out of reach. Ultimately, visualization is not about avoiding reality or escaping into imagination. It is about creating a mental environment in which success is possible. It bridges the gap between intention and action, strengthens emotional resilience, and primes the mind for clarity and focus. By practicing visualization each morning, you empower yourself to start the day with purpose, confidence, and direction. It is a practice that transforms ordinary mornings into extraordinary opportunities for achievement, creativity, and growth, ensuring that your mindset, not circumstance, determines the course of your day. Mastering your mindset is not a one-time event or a fleeting burst of motivation. It is a lifelong practice rooted in consistency, discipline, and intentionality. Every morning offers a new opportunity to shape your thoughts, emotions, and actions in a way that aligns with your highest potential. Those who succeed in life are not necessarily those who face fewer challenges, but those who have cultivated the daily habits and mental patterns that allow them to respond with clarity, resilience, and purpose. Consistency in mindset is the invisible force that transforms small, deliberate actions into extraordinary results over time. Consistency begins with commitment. Choosing to invest in your mindset every morning, even when it feels difficult or inconvenient, signals to your subconscious that your personal growth matters. When you maintain these practices day after day, whether it is engaging in positive self-talk, practicing gratitude, visualizing your desired outcomes, or focusing on what you can control, you create momentum. This momentum compounds silently but powerfully, reinforcing patterns of thought and behavior that become second nature. Over time, the effort that once required conscious discipline transforms into an automatic response, and your mind becomes a reliable ally rather than a source of stress and doubt. The beauty of consistent mindset practice is its cumulative effect. Each morning, the choices you make about your thoughts, emotions, and actions are like small deposits in a mental and emotional bank account. One day of focus may seem insignificant, but repeated over weeks, months, and years, it builds reserves of confidence, resilience, and positivity that carry you through even the most challenging circumstances. Consider a person who, over time, consistently begins each day with intention and positivity. They develop the ability to navigate unexpected obstacles with calm, to engage in relationships with patience, and to approach tasks with energy and focus. Their mindset becomes a source of strength that extends far beyond the morning hours, influencing every aspect of their life. Consistency also reinforces accountability to yourself. By committing to daily mental practices, you establish a standard of personal responsibility that shapes your identity. You are no longer at the mercy of fleeting moods, external events, or reactive impulses. Instead, you are deliberately choosing how to show up in your life every day. This sense of accountability empowers you to make decisions that are aligned with your long-term goals and values. It transforms the way you experience challenges, setbacks, and opportunities, allowing you to respond with agency rather than passivity. Another critical element of consistency is patience. Mindset mastery is not instantaneous. It unfolds gradually through repeated practice and attention. Some mornings will be easier than others, and some days will feel chaotic despite your best efforts. Yet, the key is persistence, continuing the practice even when results are not immediately visible. Each repetition strengthens neural pathways, reinforces positive habits, and trains the mind to operate with clarity and focus. Over time, what once required effort becomes effortless, and the positive patterns of thought, emotion, and behavior become deeply ingrained. Consistency also magnifies the impact of every other practice we have discussed: morning rituals, inner dialogue, focus on controllable actions, gratitude, and visualization. When these practices are repeated daily, they interact synergistically. Your gratitude practice enhances the clarity and effectiveness of your visualization. Your focused attention on controllable elements strengthens the emotional power of your affirmations. Your rituals and routines provide a stable framework for reinforcing these mental patterns. Together, these practices create a resilient, empowered mindset that can navigate uncertainty, adversity, and change with composure and confidence. The long-term impact of consistency is transformational. It not only shapes daily performance, but also influences the trajectory of your life. The small choices you make every morning accumulate into habits. Habits accumulate into character, and character accumulates into destiny. By committing to a consistent practice of mindset mastery, you gradually build a mental, emotional, and behavioral framework that allows you to achieve your goals, maintain positivity, and sustain personal growth. Regardless of circumstances, each day becomes a step forward. Each morning, a deliberate act of self-mastery. Consistency is also a source of empowerment. When you rely on regular practices to cultivate your mindset, you gain independence from external validation, chaos, and unpredictability. Your mental state becomes a resource that you control, a reliable foundation for action, and a compass that guides decision-making. No matter what challenges arise, you have cultivated the ability to respond thoughtfully, act intentionally, and maintain your equilibrium. This is the essence of true mental mastery, knowing that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are within your power, and that repeated deliberate practice ensures you can harness that power every day. Ultimately, mastering your mindset through consistency transforms mornings into powerful opportunities rather than passive transitions from sleep to activity. Each day becomes a conscious choice to invest in clarity, positivity, and purpose. By showing up for yourself consistently, you create momentum, resilience, and alignment that shape not only the day ahead but the trajectory of your life. It is through this dedication to daily practice that the ordinary moments of each morning become extraordinary catalysts for growth, achievement, and fulfillment. Consistency is not merely a habit, it is the foundation upon which mastery of the mind and mastery of life is built. Your mind is the most powerful tool you own. How you start your morning determines the quality of your day, the strength of your character, and the trajectory of your life. Take control, choose positivity, and wake up every morning ready to conquer the day. Not because life is easy, but because your mindset makes you unstoppable. As we come to the close of this journey, remember this: your mind is not just a vessel that carries you through life. It is the steering wheel, the engine, and the map. Every thought you choose, every habit you cultivate, and every morning ritual you practice shapes not only your day, but the trajectory of your entire life. Positivity, focus, and resilience are not accidental. They are deliberate, nurtured, and strengthened with conscious effort. Starting each morning with intention, gratitude, visualization, and control over your thoughts is not just a practice, it is a declaration. It is a commitment to yourself that no circumstance, challenge, or setback will dictate your mindset. You are the architect of your reality, and every day is an opportunity to design a life of purpose, clarity, and fulfillment. So as you leave here today, take this with you. Your mornings matter because your mind matters. Each sunrise is an invitation to master your mindset, to choose positivity, and to step into your life with courage and confidence. Commit to these practices consistently and watch as your thoughts, your actions, and your reality transform. Your potential is not defined by the world around you. It is defined by the strength, focus, and power of your own mind. Rise each morning, master your mindset, and let the life you dream of unfold, one empowered thought at a time.